Hello, 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 hello. How are you all doing? Welcome to another session of Mortgage Minutes with Tomekia Hunt. I hope you guys are doing great. Today is May 21st, 2026. It's the third Thursday of the month of May. We're here every first and third Thursday, so don't forget about us here on Facebook Live. I want to start today by wishing my parents a happy anniversary. Y'all, May 21st. So long ago, my parents got married. And it has now been 48 years of marriage for them. So congratulations to my mother and father. If you all see them or see a post on Facebook, please send them your best wishes. So we're going to talk about winning in today's market, friends. So it's an incredible time to be in the home buying process right now. So how do we win in today's market? Well, first of all, we are going to start with our verse of the day. And our verse of the day comes from Proverbs 29, verse 25. And it says, "Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe." So I wrote this down. Are you concerned about others' opinions? God is bigger than our trials or the opinions that we face. So are you concerned about others' opinions? All right. So yesterday I went for a walk and I had on a shirt and it said beast mode. And I was like, okay, maybe I could use that for mortgage minutes. I could use the acronym beast mode. So in order to win in today's market, you need to go into beast mode. And we're going to just use those letters and follow the acronym there. So for beast, we're going to talk about budget, employment, assets, savings, and timing. Budget, pretty explanatory, right? So of course you can write down all of your expenses each month, but you want to focus on those primary things you must pay for to develop a good budget for your family while leaving some cushion, of course. But you want to look at your current housing. What do you pay for your vehicle, your groceries, insurances, children's activities? Maybe you care for a parent. Maybe you have travel to take care of a loved one. So what all is included in your budget to identify what you have remaining that can then go toward home ownership? The E in beast is employment. Employment. So the type of income you earn or what type of income you're allowed, like W-2, are you self-employed? What type of employment or income sources do you have that we can use to qualify you for a home? Do you have traditional income or non-traditional income? So knowing what you have in income and employment is going to help us identify what we can use for a loan type depending on that income and employment source. The A in beast stands for assets. So assets are things that you own that actually contribute to your overall financial picture. Are you a person that has retirement accounts that you can borrow from potentially? Not necessarily pension plans, but retirement accounts like a 401k. Do you have an investment account? Do you have separate mutual funds? Do you have stocks or bonds? Do you have equity in other property? Do you possibly have items at your home that can be sold to create an asset? Do you have a vehicle that you're not using? So what is your overall net worth? What does that picture look like? That would be your assets. The S in beast is savings. Savings would be your cash you already have available. Cash on hand, like at your extra in your checking account. Do you have money in a savings or a money market account? So what type of savings do you have? Do you have some emergency reserve money? Do you have money put away for moving expenses, home maintenance after closing? Sometimes when you purchase a home, the home may need a couple of little tweaks. Maybe it needs painting, or maybe you need to change the locks out. So there could be some small maintenance items when you do purchase a home. So the last letter in the word beast is T, and we are going to call that timing. Timing is everything, right? We want to, of course, do things under God's timing, of course, but in the practical, we are trying to plan so many things in our lives. We have children in school. They have to get out of school, change schools. You may need to move closer to a job. You may need to move to another state if you're a veteran. So timing is everything. So understanding your timing, it's so important. And then getting ahead of that timing so that you're not frustrated during the process is important. So if home ownership is something that you seek in the next 12 months, this is the time to get started. If you're less than 12 months out, it's not too late. You just want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. And that's a part of why I'm doing this live. Now let's go to the next word, mode, M-O-D-E. So the first letter, M, we're going to call that mortgage. Makes sense, right? Do you understand all of the pieces of the pie that go into your mortgage payment? You have principal and interest, you have property tax, home insurance, mortgage insurance sometimes, and you could also have homeowners association costs or property owners association costs. There are some areas that also have something called a special improvement tax included in their property tax. So there are many pieces of the puzzle that go into actually producing that entire mortgage payment. So when you do your budget, you want to identify what is that total amount you have freed up for your entire mortgage payment. And I wanted to bring this up because sometimes when we speak with clients, they have a thought that their mortgage should be close to what they're paying in rent. It's not like that anymore. So you really need to have a little bit more set aside for your entire mortgage payment these days. So don't just assume your mortgage will be what your rent is. You need to identify what you're comfortable putting aside to pay your mortgage to create wealth for you and your family so that you're not creating wealth for someone else. It is an investment that will pay you back. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the letter O, obligations. What are obligations? Well, obligations could be your car payment, could be credit cards, student loans, could be child support or back pay for child support. It could also be various accounts like Klarna or Afterpay, some of the things that don't actually report on your credit report itself. So you want to look at your overall obligations. It could be something that no one else knows about. Maybe you borrowed money from a family member, $10,000, and you're paying them back every month, and that's not on your credit report. So think about what your obligations are when you're coming up with that budget for that home, right? All right, so lenders are not just looking at your income, but we're actually looking at what your income is already obligated to. And again, you have to take accountability for yourself to make sure you're not overextending yourself. Now let's go to the next letter, and that is D, and that stands for debt. So we talk about debt, you're like, well, we just talked about obligations. I know. When we think about debt, I want to talk to you all about how you are utilizing your credit cards. How are you paying on your car notes, your installment loans? So remember, you're borrowing money from a banking institution. We as the loan officer want to get to know you. We love you. Yes, we do. We want to build a relationship. But the companies that we work for, they don't necessarily get an opportunity to speak with you, and neither do these computer systems, right? They don't know your story. All they know is what is on the application and what is on your credit report. So be a healthy credit user. Meaning, if you have a $1,000 credit card, let's not max it out. Let's keep it under 30% utilization. Let's be responsible, right? So can you have an emergency in life and need a credit card? You absolutely can. We all have. But let's pay that account back down to show that we are now back to normal. We are back on our feet. We're able to handle our responsibilities. So your credit score is just a picture of how much risk you are to an institution to lend you a large sum of money. So keeping your utilization down is important. Making your payments on time is important. Again, can you make a mistake and forget about a bill? Yes, you can, but let's give ourselves time to get back on the horse, reprove ourselves, because again, we need this money from the bank, don't we? We sure do. So let's pay our bills on time. Let's settle any old inconsistencies. What do I hear all the time? That's not my debt. I hear you. The computer system, it doesn't hear you. Okay, I do, but the computer system doesn't. So do the work ahead of time so that you're not going through all this back and forth. Settle your collections. Dispute them if they're not yours. They'll come off if they truly aren't yours. But if they're yours, if you've co-signed for someone, if they didn't pay, that was a bad choice, right? We got to learn from our mistakes. We have to go on. You cannot let those things hold you back. So you have to face them and fix them. All right? Let's go to the next letter, E, expectations. All right. So here we go. We got to separate the emotion from the transaction of buying a home, friends. So think about this. A lot of us, we have a desired kitchen. We have a desired closet. We have a desired zip code. All right? So we have all of these desires, but we also have a budget and a payment that we desire. So we have to be able to be flexible. You may not get everything on your top 10 list. You may get the top 2 things, but thank the Lord you get the top 2 things. When you buy a home, it is not your forever home. As long as you have breath in your body, you are able to buy a home again. There is no age on when you can buy a home, upgrade, move up, whatever you want to call it. There's no age on that. Your life could totally change. Your income could change. Your marital status could change. The children you have in your home will grow up. The person you're helping faithfully, they get on their own at some point. So your situation can change, but don't wait for the perfect home or the perfect income or the perfect situation to come about. If you're in position to buy and there is a home that meets your needs, move forward. Move forward, people. Becoming a homeowner is the best choice you could ever make. It is a part of building wealth for your family. So don't delay. Move forward on that. Again, just make sure you have healthy expectations so that you don't get your heart broken about something. So separating out those emotions, super important. All right. So before you buy, here are just some key pointers, and I am way over my 10 minutes. I hope somebody got something out of this. If you did, share it, please. But before you buy, know your numbers. Keep your job stable, or whatever means of income you're receiving, keep it stable. Avoid opening new debt. Save money, not just for a down payment, but for the transition into another property. Understand your full payment and what that looks like. If you have questions, friends, definitely reach out to me. I am so excited to work with families on a daily basis. I love to pour into people, but more importantly, I help you get your keys, and that helps your family to start their wealth journey or continue the journey that you've already started. So remember, the strongest buyers are not always the richest. They are just the most prepared. They're the most prepared. Some of us come from families where we didn't have the same preparation as others we have met along the way. I know you all can agree with me there. That is no excuse for us to not be prepared now. So we have to leave our past in the past, accept where we are, and move forward into the future the Lord has designed for us, right? So the only thing that's standing between home ownership and you, it's likely you. Are y'all ready to go into beast mode? I am so ready for you to go into beast mode. I'm going into beast mode in so many areas of my life, and I'm just excited, and I hope that you will share with me what areas of your life are you going into beast mode. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Mortgage Minutes, last day of school, and my parents' anniversary. Honey, we are winning. Have a blessed day.